Ciao, bonjour, mi chiamo Franjo Floresbon, and now, before I start my formal discussion about this beautiful country known as the Land of Mountains, here are some facts. Let's go! Well, Italy is famous for the Renaissance and the incredible artists it's produced. Italy is famous for its tourism, its cities, and unique scenery. Italy is also known for its language, its opera, its fashion, its luxury brands. It's also known for its football team. Rome is famous for the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and sprawling metropolis of classical architecture, but the city is known for more than its ancient history. It is the home for the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain, incredible food and gardens and art, and a world-famous film industry. Ciao, bonjour, mi chiamo Franjo Floresbon, and now come with me to find out and I will discuss all of you the language program and policies of this beautiful country known as the Land of Mountains para hindi na makawala, Italy! The official and most widely spoken language across the country is Italian, which started off the medieval Toscan of Florence. In parallel, many Italians also communicate in one of the local languages, most of which, like Toscan, are indigenous evolutions of Vulgar Latin. Some local languages do not stem from Latin, however, but belong to other Indo-European branches such as Cimbrian, Amvarish, Slavoceno, and Greco. Other non-indigenous languages are spoken by substantial percentage of the population due to immigration. Of the indigenous languages, 12 are officially recognized as spoken by linguistic minorities: Albanian, Catalan, German, Greek, Slovene, Croatian, French, Franco-Francal, Frolian, Ladin, Occitan, and Sardinian. At the present moment, Sardinian is regarded as the largest such groups, with approximately 1 million speakers, even though the Sardophone community is overall declining. However, full bilingualism is legally guided only of the three national minorities whose mother tongue is German, Slovene, and French, and enacted in the regions of Trentino Alto Adige, Friuli Venezuela, and almost of the Roman languages spoken in Italy are native to the area in which they are spoken. Apart from Italian, these languages are often referred to as dialecti or dialects, both colloquially and scholarly usage. However, the term may coexist with other labels like minority languages or vernaculars for some of them. The label or dialect may be understood erroneously to imply that the native languages spoken in Italy are dialects of Standard Italian in the prevailing English language. Sense of the variety are variations of a language. This is not the case of Italy, as the country's long-standing linguistic diversity does not actually stem from Italian. Most of Italy's variety of Romance languages predate Italian and evolve locally from Vulgar Latin, independently of what would become the standard national language long before the very recent spread of Italian throughout. In fact, Italian itself can be Italy, though of as either a continuation of our dialect heavily based on the Florentine dialect of Tuscan. The indigenous Romance languages of Italy are therefore classified as separate languages that evolved from Latin, just like Italian, rather than dialects or variations of the latter. Conversely, with the spread of Italian throughout Italy, in the 20th century, local varieties of Italian have also developed throughout the peninsula. It was influenced the varying extents by the underlying local languages, and most noticeably at the phonological level, though regional boundaries seldom correspond to isoglosses or distinguishing these varieties. These variations of Italian are commonly referred to as regional Italian or Italiano regional. The Article 6 of the Italian Constitution was drafted by the founding fathers to show sympathy for the country's historical linguistic minorities and a way for the newly founded republic to let them become a part of the national fabric and distance itself from the Italianization policies promoted earlier because of the nationalism, especially during fascism. Since 1934, Minister Francisco Ercole had excluded the fact from the school curriculum any language other than Italian in the accordance with the policy of linguistic nationalism. However, more than half-century passed before the Art 6 was followed by any of the above-mentioned appropriate measures. Italy applied, in fact, that article of the first time in 1999 by means of the national law. According to the linguist Tullio Di Mauro, the Italian delay of over 50 years in implementing Article 6 was caused by decades of hostility, multilingualism, and epoch ignorance. Before said legal framework entered into force, only four linguistic minorities, the French-speaking community and the Aosta Valley, the German-speaking community, and to limited extent the Latin one and the province of Bolzano, and the Sloven-speaking community and the province of Trieste, and the less rights and the province of Gorizia, enjoyed some kind of acknowledgement and protection stemming from specific clauses within international treaties. The other 8 linguistic minorities were to be recognized only in 1999, including the Sloven-speaking minority and the province of Udine and the Germanic populations, the Whistler and the Mucini and Sembri residing in the provinces. Different from Bolzano, some now recognized minority groups, namely in Fruela, Venezuela, and Sardinia, already provided themselves with regional laws of their own. It has been estimated that less than 400 people out of the 2 million people belonging to the 12 historical minorities, with Sardinia being the numerically biggest one, enjoyed and stated wide protection. Around the 1960s, the Italian Parliament eventually resolved to apply the previously neglected article of the country's fundamental charter. The original list was approved with the only exception of the nomadic peoples, who lacked the territoriality requisite and therefore needed a separate law. However, the draft was presented to the lawmaking bodies when the legislature was about to run its course and had to be passed another time. The bill was met with resistance by all the subsequent legislators, being reluctant to challenge the wide-held myth of Italian linguistic homogeneity, and only in 1999 it did pass eventually, becoming a law. In the end of the historical linguistic minorities have been recognized by the law number 482/1999 in December 15, 1999. In fact, the discrimination lay in the urgent need to award the highest degree of protection only to the French-speaking minority in the Aosta Valley and German one in South Tyrol, owing in the international theaters. For example, the institutional websites are only in Italian with a few exceptions, like a French versions of the Italian Chamber of Deputies, a bill proposed by former Prime Minister Mario Monti's cabinet formally introduced a differential treatment between the 12 historical linguistic minorities, distinguishing between those with a foreign mother tongue, the groups protected by agreements with Austria, France, and Slovenia, and those with a peculiar dialect, all the others.